Salam everyone. We're just waiting for everybody to arrive, Bakhair, and we'll start the program. I'll give you guys a sneak peek.
Show us.
Yeah, go Ali John. Everyone say hi please to YouTube and everyone else. Salam Bakhair.
مرا گفت نواخت شد گفت تایپو من اکسپریانس دارم اکبرشان همیشه از ما کردن نیم ساعت نوقت نرسه
فینال شما فکر کنید که اگر می مسابقات ولی شب پیشتر از مسابقات می بود سبا ماشت کجا مسابقات
نه در
این باران تو را زیاد است تیمای نیویورک مگذره که درا بند ماندن با مجرد کاس فامینا رسیدن ما شروع میکنیم.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
میبخشید.
Who's going to win? I think that's the problem. That's a good thing.
There's rain in New York, so we're waiting for other folks to join بخیر soon.
سلام و احترامات بر همگی. خدا کنه که همگی جور آرام باشین. فایز بیگمان from Virginia Afghan Football Club.
سلام، خوب هستین محترم؟ خوش آمدین.
تشکر.
فقط ما معطل یک تیم یکی دو تیم دیگه است.
سلام.
فایز جان دیگه ببخشید یا ترافیکش به سابقه است.
نفهمیدم.
دو تیم از نیویورک یک کمک ترافیک است، یک دو تیم از نیویورک ترافیک هستن با مجرد آمد شروع میکنیم دیگه کلگی میجاست.
من تیمور جان امور میگن تیمایی که نزدیک هستن اما وقت میرسن.
تیمایی که از دور
No problem. No problem.
سلام علیکم.
سلام علیکم. چی حال دارین؟ خوب هستین؟ صحت شما خوب؟ فامیل محترم خوب ان شاء الله؟ خیر خیرتی؟ فرید جان سلام برسه برای شما.
جور صحت شما خوبه؟
صحت شما خوب؟
خدا رو شکر.
همه ناظرین خوب است، فامیل محترم خوب؟ همه خیر خیرتی ان شاء الله؟
خدا رو شکر. خدا رو شکر.
لطف کردین.
سلام برسه به همه. سلام فایز جان، فهیم جان، حبیب جان،
کلاگی اینجا سلام برسانه نه.
تیمور جان همه سلام به کلگی برسه برادر.
نامه و علیکم السلام.
سلام برسه به کلگی.
سلام روین جان، خوب هستی؟ خوش آمدین.
تشکر. امیدوار هستم کل دوستا خوب باشن.
روین جان از تورنتوست.
تشکر برادر، بخیر باشین.
مصطفی مرزا. یه باید نوت میگیریم کلیک کنم. یه خوشایت چیزم باشه.
وسیم جان خوب است انشالله. Looking good. نام خدا.
سلام علیکم فیض آقا، خوب هستین؟ بخیر. سلام
خیر
دوستان.
خدا.
برای کلی سلام برسه. زنده باشین. شما خوب هستین؟ بخیر هستین؟
الحمدلله. Looking fresh and good as always.
تشکر. از شما رسیدگی نمیتونیم فیض آقا.
سعی کنید. روی جان چطور هستی خودت آقا؟ خوب هستی؟ صحت خوب؟ فامیل محترم خوب انشالله؟ میوت هستی بخلم روی نقد.
ببخشید. سلام فیض جان، خوب هستین؟ صحت خوب؟
الحمدلله. زنده باشی. خودت چطور هستی؟
تشکر. خوب که هستین. من دو اسکرین دارم و اسکرین دیگر رو سعی میکردم به او خاطر.
خوب.
آه.
انشالله خوب و آرام باشین همینطور. بخیر، به امید دیدار کل دوستان انشالله.
Word right there, yeah.
I would say another 3 minutes, please. ببخشین دیگه.
فهیم جان چطور هستین شما؟ بریم طرف. بخیر، خب میایین در تورنمنت بخیر.
مرا میگی؟
فهیم جان.
فهیم جان میگین بهان.
فهیم جان مجددی. میشنی؟ استاد رحیم شما چطور هستین؟
خیلی چیزی است.
خوب هستین ان شاء الله. آماده هستین بخیر بر تورنمنت؟
از وقت ما بریم.
شما همیشه آماده هستین. بله؟
بنده گوت ما بسته است.
بله، خوب است.
این طرف میکن در استاد.
جان شروع کنید.
You are ready? Inshallah, we are all ready, right? So we can start?
Yes,
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Is it loud enough?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you for coming here to start the AASA Cup 2022. And before anything else, I would like to introduce the teams that are here to represent their team, their representative, introduce themselves, and then we go online, the representative that who couldn't make it here to introduce themselves and say that they are part of this draw night. Okay, we start to my left is Breshna B.
Okay, go.
صدا
They are on mute, I think.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
السلام علیکم خدای دې چې ټول جوړ یاست او ټول رفیقانو دوستانو ته چې په وینمو لایف او څونه چې د دې او ټول ته سلامونه احترامات وایم بیا هم ډېر تشکر دی سیدت اورګانایزیشن څخه چې موږ بیا هم ټول راټول کړلو او همیشه خدای دې وکړي چې اتفاق او اتحاد موږ تاسو په مابینځ کې وي او وساتل شي زه خپله زموږ اصلي کوچ دی ابراهیم جان هغه نسته په افغانستان کې دی نو ټورنمنت ته شاید راورسیږي د دواړو ټیمانو نمایندګي مې کوله مګر اوس د هغه زوی او د هغه خوری چې ریمولا جان او رفیع جان دي هغه د نمایندګي کوي د برېښنا A نو ما ریسپانسیبلیټي د برېښنا B د اخر څه ده چې د هغه کوچینګ سره کار کوم چې موږ دوه ټیمه د برېښنا لرو نو تاسو ته بیا هم سلامونه وایم ښه ټورنمنټ ټولو ته غواړم او خدای دې وکړي چې ټول ټیمان پر هغه قوانینو مقرراتو چې د اورګانایزیشن د خوا څخه جوړ شوي دي پر هغه باندې موږ ټول روان سو او هیڅ داسې عمل راڅه ونه شي چې مخالفه د دغه قوانینو وي تشکر
سلام برای همه دوستا کسایی که در آنلاین هست و برادرایی که در این شش هفته کنه همگی خوب باشه من تیم ساکرامنتو سپینغا را نمایندگی میکنم شما میتونم امیر رحیم جان آشناستین اونا نتونست که خودشان اینجا باشن دیگه از طرف رحیم جان از تیم سپینغا ساکرامنتو را نمایندگی میکنم و گود لک فار everybody
تشکر. برای جان Okay, go ahead. Cash for it. That's good, yeah. Hi, that's all that far good.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to speak in English. Hopefully you understand. So I'd like to thank the host for hosting this tournament. I am here with Rafi and Barashan. They are representatives of Team A, Breshna A. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm representing Afghan FC from New York. Thank you very much. And my name is Atikullah.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Mohammed Akbar. I'm from Ittihad FC.
سلام به کل دوستا من علی رامین هستم کاکوالی سروری ما representative تیم Avian United New Jersey
Toronto FC of Mustafa. Yani baş.
سلام علیکم ما نماینده تیم تورنتو سیستم مصطفی جان خودش تشریف نداره
تشکر.
خب حال از تیمایی که آنلاین هستن خواهش میکنیم که خود معرفی کنن اول شروع میکنیم از نیوجرسی سلکت علی جان ادیمسان پلیز
سلام علیکم سلام به کلی برسه ما نماینده تیم جرسی افغان سلکت هستم
افغان پریمیر پلیز
سلام آرش حتشی هستم نماینده افغان پریمیر سی از کالیفرنیا امیدوار هستم که همه جور سرحال و سربلند باشن و امید است که بخیر یک تورنمنت موفقانه بخیر پیش بره انشالله
San Diego FC, San Diego United.
سلام دوستا، نام فرید نظر است از سندیگو یونایتد اف سی. سلام به کل کسایی که تشریف دارند و برادرایی که آنلاین هستند. سال پیش که آمدیم در تورنمنت در نیوجرسی، تیمور جانشون زیاد زحمت کشیده بودن و خوش هستیم که باز بخیر در تورنمنت اشتراک کنیم. امیدوار هستیم که یک تورنمنت بسیار خوب و کل دوستا را بخیر ببینیم از نزدیک و دیگه انشالله تا دیدن.
تورنتو پامیر.
سلام به کل دوستای عزیز و کوچای محترم. نام روین ستارزاده است از کوچ تورنتو پامیر ساکر کلاب.
تشکر. پامیر نیوجرسی.
Salam, Ali Sino, representing Palmyra, New Jersey, SC.
Okay, next. تشکر. Virginia Football Club.
سلام به همه دوستا و برادرای عزیز. خدا کنه همگی خوش آرام و خورم و صحت باشین. اسم ما است فایز بهگمان، تکنیکال دایرکتور ویرجینیا افغان فوتبال کلاب و همراهیم همکاری میکنن امروز اینجا فهیم جان مجددی که فهیم جان اگر خود معرفی میکنی.
سلام، فهیم مجددی هستم، همراه تیم ویرجینیا اف سی قسمی که فایز جان گفت و همه تیم‌ها موفقیت می‌خوام. Good luck to everybody.
Arman FC.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ali Shasaman, coach of Arman FC. I am joined by my brother Ali Jana Qasimi, who's out of state right now. And we are representing Arman FC. We're from Jacksonville, Florida. Looking forward to meeting everyone. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. He's here. Ali John. Okay, next one.
All right. Thank you very much.
Got 14.
Now we have all 14 teams represented, whether in person or by representative or via Zoom. We'd like to start talking about this tournament. And we're fortunate to have 15 teams. This credit goes to all, not just the organization, we do only so much. You know that this is the hard work of all the teams that have come from everywhere. And we had problems that, attracting players or football clubs. Now it's so much that we have to say, no, we cannot accept anymore because it's just too much. This is something that we all should be proud of. And this is not success, it's organization.
Kindly please mute your computers, please.
Wali John, can you just mute all, please? Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
As I said, the credit goes to all the teams. Where we are here today is because of participation, cooperation, and of every that we are here today. We're here today, but we also have to be very careful. We have to make sure that we got here, we can keep it, sustain it, and support it. So to do that, we need to do our part. As an organizer, we can do only so much. We can write the rules, regulations, whatever we can do, but if it's implementation, we can do, but if cooperation of the teams and the coaches and the players are not there, we're not gonna get anything. We have plain, simple, broken English written rules and regulations, a few pages. We could hire a Philadelphia lawyer to write, a textbook for us, but it really doesn't mean anything. So we could write everything and abide by it, or we're sitting here, or the ones who are on Zoom, we make an commitment that we are gonna do whatever we can to keep this together. We don't need to, pick on this team, pick on that team, pick on that player, pick on that coach. We're all Afghans. So why not enjoy this? This is something that we should cherish. So from here, I like to, go over some rules and regulations, the major stuff. I know this was posted on the WhatsApp group, so we have read, but I like to review a few things just in general, not everyone line by line. We don't have another time, but we want to go to the draw and the night until we want to call it back. Hopefully there's another question. Some of you have copies. We know there's a part of the main thing is that 27 players on the roster, 3 non-Afghan players. I want to emphasize on this one, 3 non-Afghan players. Afghan.
There's a lot of background noise. If you can mute everybody, please, that would be very helpful.
Guys, please mute yourself. I keep doing it here. That's it. Get it.
Okay,
go ahead.
We were talking about 3 non-Afghan players because this becomes an issue sometimes. We want to make sure we're all on the same page. 3 non-Afghan players or players that are not Afghan, plain and simple, or Afghans that if you're a team based in the United States, and if you get a player from Canada, he's Afghan, he's considered your non-Afghan, or what we call it, international Afghan. If you bring a player from Europe, that would be your foreigner. And at the same time, if the team from Canada comes here and takes an Afghan player from here, that would be considered his foreign players or non-Afghan player. Some small stuff here that, a player was moved to recently, but we don't know, he may be going back and forth. So to show that he is of the United States, he wants to play for a US, he has to show an ID card that he is a resident of the United States. Also, there are maybe Afghans, but they have to show proof of their ID card or something in the past. That if it becomes an issue, they have to show proof. The coaches and the captains are responsible for this. Another thing that we want to talk about is that on the roster, the first 3 players, if you have non-Afghan or foreign players, the first 3 names on your roster in capital letters should be that non-Afghan player. So we don't have to go, who's your foreign player, non-Afghan player, or go on the line number 24, number 16. So we don't have time for that. If you have it, the first 3 players. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Just to make it easy for everybody. And also this year, because we have multiple games at the same time, and we didn't want to go throughout the whole day. We didn't know what kind of temperature we were going to get. So the players are rested. The worst case, each team gets 6 hours play, 6 hours of rest if they play the same day. That's very fair. So to do that, 2 games at the same time, and the coach's responsibility is to have the IDs. I'm not saying physical IDs of every player, to have your passport or driver license with them. The coach can take a picture or a snapshot of their ID cards, have it just in order, number 1 to number 27, for example, in order. Take pictures like a folder, this player, this player, this player. We don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to bring your ID cards on the field and so on and so on. I'm not asking, questioning anybody because it's impossible to check everybody, but every team has a right to ask the identity of a player on the other team. I'm not saying that somebody comes and asks, is he an Afghan or not? That's not fair either. But if you have the information that is solid and you think that there's a question, bring it. And this time, when you send your rosters, there's going to be 2 forms of rosters. One is the main roster that just shows the roster from number 1 to number 27. Then another form is that the game report. You're writing the same roster, the same order on that thing as well. And that's the one that's your team name is going to be on it. You write your team name and your players the same way that's written on the original roster. That goes to the referee. So in the bottom of that, you initial or sign that this is my final roster. And that is available on that WhatsApp group. If you want to check Breshnoy A wants to check Breshnoy B, for example, the roster is there. But at the same time, we keep a hard copy on the field as well. So to make it easy for everybody, there is transparency. There is no hiding. There is whatever anybody wants to do anything, do it at their own risk. And it's not really worth it.
Sorry, I'm hoping it doesn't get to this, but what if a team does try to bring a player as an Afghan, but they're not Afghan?
Well, if it's proven, they forfeit the game. Forfeit the game.
Forfeit the game?
That's it. 3 goals, 3 points to the other team. That's.
And then obviously that player is gone too.
Oh, yeah. Of course, that player is gone.
Making sure, I'm going to make sure for everybody.
But what I'm saying is that, I'm not saying that everybody comes and, hey, listen, I want to know this guy is that. Do your due diligence to make sure that's the case. I don't doubt anybody. I don't want to accuse anybody. I don't think if anybody is going to do that. And nobody wants to prepare a team for 3-4 months and bring one player. Just so obvious to do that. So, you know what? As I said, we can do whatever we want to do. If the cooperation of the teams are not there, we're not going to get any. We're just going to create problem for each other. So let's start it the right way. We do our part. Security is there. 0 tolerance for violence. The referees are there. Assistant referees there to help out. If you guys don't get tired of it, that, why you're checking my ID, listen, I'm doing my part. Because I don't want somebody to come. Why didn't you check his ID? It's just we're trying to do everything, take every step to make sure. That's why every game you see 40 minutes, 90 minutes, I allow for every game 2 hours. Because I know in between, the ref just finishes the game. He can. Before your game, line up your players. Outside of the gate, we have a barricade. Have the IDs. I'll have the guy there, the assistant referee, players on the team. Take your team together, ID check, done. And the other roster that is with the referees, that's a game report referee. You don't have to. It's the same thing as you submitted. And we're going to check. We're going to check that the one that you have submitted as a game report and the one that's original roster is exactly the same thing. So there is nothing that we're hiding. We're not favoring anybody. I want to make sure we are as fair as we can be. The rules are going to apply to every single one, no matter where they come from, what team they are.
It should be written in the same order, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So that basically the roster that you're turning in, that should be your game roster as well. The
right.
format.
Right. But I want to make sure that your original roster and the game report roster is exactly the same way, number-wise, not jersey-wise. What I'm saying is, if number 1 is number 1 on roster, original roster is number 1, and number 1 on the game report roster too. So we're not making another roster ourselves for the game report. You guys submitted, you filled out that thing, and it should match exactly the same thing.
Perfect. Temurjan, just to confirm one point that you mentioned earlier, once you have the final roster for all the teams, you said you'll have your signature or your stamp on it, and that would be shared with.
I'm not signing. You guys sign it. That's you submitted.
The final. Yeah. Let me see if I can clarify my point. Like what I'm saying is, once you have my final roster, right, and you know that's final, that's locked. I can't make any changes to it. That's the roster you're going to share with everybody on WhatsApp, correct?
That would be submitted on the WhatsApp group. You can see your roster. You cannot change it. I cannot change it. Nobody can change it.
Right. That's what I was getting at. That's the final roster, and that is it. And
that is, you submitted, you signed it, you initialed it. And you also submitted the game report roster as well. So that's what I'm giving to the referee.
Could you indicate the date?
The
last date.
The last date is Tuesday night.
Okay.
Next Tuesday night. Next Tuesday comes
24th.
The 24th, because who's versing who and everything else.
So this cannot be changed after the 24th.
No.
Okay, that's it.
If you want to change your rosters, do not submit it until the 24th, because We're not going to go back one on the 20th,
Exactly.
one on the 21st. This is not the way it's going to be done. If you're sure about your roster, submit it. No changes. If you're not sure, wait until then. Because then it becomes, oh, when did he change it? I saw his roster on the 21st. Oh, but he had until the 24th to do that. So to clear the smoke, once you submit your roster, that's your final roster.
Perfect, thank you.
To the WhatsApp group. We're not taking it any other way. You have any issues how to submit it or anything like that? Wally, John is in charge of IT and all of those issues that how it's submitted. There's no changes, whether it's a PDF or whatever. That's not like somebody's gonna go, oh, don't worry about it, I can change it for you on WhatsApp. I'm the admin on the group and so on and so on. So we want to make sure that is set in stone, that nobody can touch it. Nobody who's the admin or anybody else, nobody can change the roster, right? And you initial that roster, that is submitted. John, you submit your roster, you sign your name in the bottom of it, and that's the roster.
Got it, perfect, thank you.
I think
it's a very fair
anybody's team, roster, game results, whatever you think, nobody's above and beyond everybody else in this community that they travel thousands of miles, they prepare for months. Nobody's above that. So let's respect each other, do it the right way. I think that at the end it comes to, your ethic and, respect for others. If we do something is ethically wrong, it's wrong. So why do that? Okay, I think we said enough about that. So things like, what is forms of ID and so on and so on, we know that. Registration fee, we know. Whoever is here tonight, we're going to the yellow card, talk about it. Substitution, all of these things, that's referee stuff. We know it's unlimited substitution. There's some uniform requirements. For example, if the two teams are playing each other, you can't expect the organization to, oh, he's the home team, I'm not the home team. It's difficult. You know the team you're playing, we all know each other. It's a small soccer community. Call each other, say, hey, what uniform are you wearing today? You're wearing black, I'm wearing white. That's all. You can do this. You don't have to leave it to us that I have a problem on the field. They're both the same. They're both wearing green. And what do I do? You really think that we can go that far to follow up everybody? There are things that we can do to make life easier for ourselves. Okay, that's something that we can all work on. These other things is just soccer gears and this and that. Of course, number cleats.
1 second, sorry. We have a question from Ali John. Do you have a question? You raised your hand.
Something that's pretty easy to deal with that issue about the jerseys. On the roster sheet, everybody knows what jerseys they're bringing because they're coming from home. So you can just indicate like black and green. That will, not make any trouble for anybody.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're not going to be the watchdog group to see what's on your roster, what kind of jersey you're wearing. You know the other teams?
Right, I'm just saying you could just add that to the new sheets. It'll make it easy.
Okay.
If they don't call each other and the both team have the same jersey, it's very easy. Just ask this, who's going to change it? Every team has two uniforms.
Yeah, but they may not have it on the field, Tarzan, But what I'm saying is that there are things that we can do. Why make life difficult for ourselves? What size should I take? Brishna and Brishna be wearing the same color.
Have to bring both.
I have to do that.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
They're sharing jerseys.
Finish the conversation.
Okay.
Hey, Mojan, back to the points earlier that you mentioned, considering that the temperature is going to get really hot that weekend there, is there consideration for water break due to heat and things like that?
Yeah, that's John, right? I don't see. I can recognize the voice.
Bro.
Yes, if you read the rule books, the referee has offer water breaks. It is in the rule book. The referee has the option to offer water break.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, maybe I missed it. Sorry. Thank you for confirming it.
Okay, now we go to the, I guess we're done with everything else. We're talking about advancing to the second round, right? Number of points is 3, ties 1, and forfeit games is whatever, forfeited games. Oh, one thing we have to talk that I saw the expulsion from the tournament. If the team doesn't want to show up, there's a grace period of 15 minutes, okay? Which we all know there's plenty of hotels around. We have plenty of time to make it. There's not going to be any kind of special circumstances. We all should be here on time, respect the other team, help ourselves to be on time and don't come late. But there's a team that they don't want to come because they say, hey, this game really doesn't mean anything. I have won 2 games. Why should I play the 3rd game? I want to rest my players. I want to get, no matter who I play in the quarterfinal round, I'm okay. I want to rest my players. That team is expelled from the tournament. We know that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it, that if you intentionally don't show up, that you think this is the right way to, you know, this is an advantage for me, that's my strategy, you're out. So whoever is the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Maybe
But that's not
randomly.
respect for the tournament. People come to watch, the other team comes, you don't respect anything. So you have no respect for the tournament, you're out of the tournament.
That's a great thing, and I think expulsion should be also applied to any team. Although I know if that situation arises, that they're taking advantage of having a player that's not legal based on the rules here. I think the same rules should apply there as well. That team should be expelled.
That game they're going to forfeit. If they that is set in stone, that if they cannot prove that this is, you know, an Afghan or non-Afghan, or they got more than 3 Afghan, they're going to forfeit the game.
Right. What I'm saying is it should be. I think that's heavier than, you know, in my opinion, it's heavier than forfeiting the game, because it should be a good lesson for a team that does something like that, right? Completely expelled, in my opinion. But you know,
we have said that rule. I think it was last year that we talked about it, right? That, you know, if the team intentionally don't want to show up, they're expelled from the tournament. But if it's found that the team has an additional non-Afghan player, for example, they forfeit that game. That's what this in the rule book we're going to stick to. And that player is expelled, of course, you know. That's it. So they're not expelled from the tournament, but they're going to forfeit the game if they have an additional non-Afghan player.
Right. I mean, to me, what does that say about the ethic on that, right? If that happens, that's the whole team is responsible, in my opinion, right?
How many things on a question?
But
that's the rule book. That's the rule book.
That's it.
Right?
Timurjan, I just have a quick question on that.
Yes.
So let's say a player was there for non-Afghan, and that player played the 1st game, 2nd game, 3rd game, and under 3rd game, a team caught that player, and there are proofs that that same player, let's say the 4 non-Afghan, played the 1st game, 2nd game, 3rd game. What happens there?
I think they're going to forfeit all 3 games that he played.
I think the easier way is to expel the team, and then from the beginning, whenever it's caught, go.
From the tournament?
Yes, because that's very unethical, Timurjan. If that happens, God forbid, I'm not saying, you know.
Right. Right.
Well, my question is, so basically, if there's proofs that that player played for 3 games, so those 3 games should be forfeited.
Yes.
But if they had only 1 extra player on a, let's say, on their 3rd game, only the 3rd game will be a forfeit. That's it.
Right.
Yes, correct.
But if I know what you point. The 1st game, if it's proven that he played, you know, on the 1st game. Right, but even if they tied that game, there's still going to be a forfeit because they're not going to get a point. And even they lost by 1 point, no, they're going to lose by 3 points.
What if the player, they have 4 non-Afghan, we find out they're in the roster of some other team. They didn't play, the 4th one non-Afghan didn't play. What's going to happen? Because I would say only 3 non-Afghan should be in the roster. I put 4 non-Afghan in the roster, but I want to play 3 of them. 1 of them is not playing at all. What's going to happen?
Which one is not playing?
The fourth foreigner.
Fourth one, for example, now it should be.
I think the same. It's on your roster.
The same,
it
yeah, that's right. The same.
No.
Should
If
be
you
a-
have,
Shouldn't have it.
if you have,
You shouldn't have it in the roster.
like in the past, that's why we always have the teams, the players, the coaches involved. Like last year, we made some amendment to some of the rules that we have. That if everybody agrees, if a team is caught, everybody's here, everybody's represented. If everybody agrees, we will make an amendment and we'll put it in the rule book that if the team is caught having 4 non-Afghan players or not being able to prove that this guy is Afghan, expelled from the tournament.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I think this is.
I'm just saying that if you want to do that, I'll put it in the rule book.
Everyone should say yes.
No.
Yes.
No. We're gonna get a vote, and we're gonna have everybody agree with it, and everybody has to sign off on it, right? Yeah. What we're gonna do, like we did a couple of changes last time, we made an amendment. Everybody signed off on it, and we can write the same thing. And everybody signs off on it. The people are here, they're gonna sign off on it, and then we go the same thing. I put in the rule book an amendment for this. If a player is, if a team is caught with more than 3 non-Afghan players, he's expelled from the tournament. But we have to know the team that is there plays against the other teams in the group. So there is five teams in a group. So your team may not be playing that team that's expelled, and Ali Ramin's team may be playing that game. So it may work against you because you're in disadvantage.
That would be an automatic 3 points for all the teams.
No,
right?
Not for all 3
If-
teams. If he doesn't play the other team, how he's going to get an automatic 3 points?
If you're scheduled to play that team, I mean, right?
Right.
I mean,
What I'm saying is, in the 5 teams, right, there is a chance that not every team plays each other.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Whoever you have in schedule, you give everybody a win.
Right. I just gave Akbarjan an example that the team was
right
expelled, and that team wasn't playing against his team in that group, right? But was playing, let's say, against your team. So your team gets 3 points, and he doesn't get the 3 points. He's not going to benefit from it. So I want to make sure. Hey, look, I made an amendment. It's better to have it this way. It's better to have it this way. Like I said before, we make an eye contact commitment that we're gonna do this. We want to put it in the book. We put it in the book. Kill it. That's it. No rule for it.
Tamerjan, if I may say something, look at the ethical ramification of that, right? Look at the ethical ramification. This guy, this team, or whoever that team may be, let's say it's my team, I play a non-Afghan player that's not legitimate in the roster, right? Okay, 1 game is forfeited, but my team is strong enough to go to quarterfinals. Oh, I might even win the final, right? Who knows? Hypothetically, right? How is that ethical? I cheated in my first game, and my first game got forfeited. Now I am okay to play my second game, third game, fourth game, and I'm going to advance all the way. But I have cheated on my first game.
Faizan, solve that, right? You said that if you caught first game, second game, third game, doesn't matter. You're out.
That's what I'm saying. First game, right? You said if I first game, you caught the.
I just said we're gonna make an amendment to the rule book, and everyone gonna sign off on it. Case closed. All right.
Thank you.
Anyone? Whatever.
No. He's right, but you know what? We all agree. We write this thing down. We send it out. Everybody sign off on it. That's it.
Yeah, there is one more question I have. For example, this team, I have 4 foreigners. They will be expelled. They play against me. I lost it to that team. They have foreigners.
Right.
I lost to that team. On the second game, he was caught.
Right.
So
no, you get the win.
That one we're going to win.
Yeah, that's it.
The schedule, the games they play or didn't play, everybody gets the win.
That's it. Okay. I think it makes everybody's job easier. That's it. This is just easier. But I just want to emphasize this to make sure that if you have an Afghan that you think it's Afghan, and he's 50% Afghan, his mom is Afghan, his dad is Afghan, or his half Afghan, half something else, make sure that you prove that this person, if nothing else, somewhere in his birth certificate, his mom, his dad, we have Afghans like that. It's almost 3 generations here now, believe it or not, that the mom is not Afghan, the dad is not Afghan, he lives somewhere else, he doesn't live by anybody, he can't speak English, he can't speak, he can't speak Pashto, he can't speak Farsi.
Adopted?
No. What I'm saying is there are kids here that they can't speak the native languages, right? Yeah. But we want to make sure somewhere we can show that, hey, my mom is an Afghan, right? And he's got to show his birth certificate, the person in subject to question, not everybody. That he's got to show his birth certificate, right? That he's the child of, his mom is an Afghan, he's the child of this woman. And he's got to be able to show that that woman was born in Afghanistan. That woman or that man has an Afghan identity, whether it's the passport or whatever.
And nobody can approach the other team, can approach a player in another team. I have to come to you.
I think that's the right way to do it. Honestly, we're all, adults, grown-ups. We know that. One thing that I suggest, do not listen to gossips, girl stalking. I hate to say it, this and that. This team has too many non-Afghans. Do your due diligence, find out. We don't have that much time to research everything. But at the same time, as a coach, Tarjan, for example, you're responsible to show. It creates a headache, but what are we going to do? We have to live by the rules. So this is something that we have to be aware what we're getting into. If we just want to create a problem for other team, we can do that. I don't think of this person, but then that coach is going to be prepared to show the proof.
I think everybody is here. Kindly, we request everybody that let's not do something like that.
Right.
To ruin this such a nice tournament and it's not worth it.
Listen, as I said before, if you guys don't cooperate, we're not going to get it.
Exactly.
Plain and simple. Go find a place that people will come watch you. You live in Queens. You see what level of soccer is there between, Latin American players, this and that. We go get players from there to become our, superstars on the team. You know that, right? But we come here. This is different. Our families come to watch us. This, trust me, cherish this, hold on to it. You're going to miss it if it's not there.
Like he said, somebody's, like 50%.
So are you going to make an amendment?
Bring like concrete,
so take a vote. Take a vote, Biggie, comment.
I think one more thing can make it easy. The players that they know, the coaches that they know that they have, like, let's say, over the third player, fourth or fifth player, that type, that mom is Afghan, dad is this, they should come and clear that with you in advance. For example, the coach will tell you that, listen, I have these three players non-Afghan. These two is Afghan, but their mom is Afghan, their dad is not, so this is the proof. So you know it. If I come to you and tell you that, listen, I heard that team has 5, you'll be like, listen, I know. The other 2 that you're seeing, they are Afghan, and I know about it.
At the very first page of the rules and regulation, as part of Afghan identity proof, is that when the player is subject to question about his identity, it's the coach's responsibility to make sure if Tajan comes to you, questions one of your players, and you think that's the player, you should be able to prove.
Yes, like that. That way it should be very easy. If he comes to you, like, the question.
Yeah, but if you come to me, that is okay with them. So cover yourself.
Yeah, what he's saying is before, say for instance, he has a question. So I'm giving you my roster. We're sending to him, right?
Yes.
With the roster, I'm gonna say this guy is half Afghan.
Right.
Here's a copy of his birth certificate.
Even if the roster, you have to write it down. This is 1 or 2 players, 50%, 50% Afghan, and the 50% Afghan.
Organization. When you question it,
that's what he's saying.
What I'm saying is, if you're confident, if you're sure and confident about your players that he's going to be proven that he's an Afghan, right? Then don't worry about it. If John asks, you show the two things I said, right? That he's born here, but is on his birth certificate. Key thing, a player, Akbarjan. If you got a player that's 50% Afghan, for example, and obviously he's born here, right? Okay. So do two things to cover yourself. Show his birth certificate, and his birth certificate is going to say who's his mom, who's his dad, right? And then if the mom is Afghan, show proof that the mom is an Afghan. Passport, place of birth. If the dad is an Afghan, same thing. That's it. You cover two things.
Yeah, because
we got to show it in advance.
No. What I'm saying is just
somebody
cover
calls
yourself.
You're not putting that rule.
No. What I'm saying
Because
is that
in the next few years, it's going to be everybody.
no, that's what I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is we can't go there that you know this guy is Afghan. You said I need proof of it.
Just by the name, we cannot prove that it's Afghan because Arabic names, Afghan names, they are all the same. Like we cannot prove it.
It's just okay.
It would be very helpful that it's clarified, as Timur John said, on the roster 1, 2, 3, their name and what their identity is, and what if any question arises, it's there on the roster. And this actually helps a lot of headache for you guys in the tournament organization if it's upfrontly, it's clear up front. And it's on the roster clearly saying it. So if any issue comes up, those are the three that you would be looking at, or any of the other ones that are 50-50. So it's clearly, if it's clearly indicated on the roster day one, I think that will eliminate a lot of headaches for everybody.
3 non-Afghan players. We don't anything above that. It could go to number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. A lot of Afghans nowadays are born here. They have difficulties. You cannot tell who's an Afghan now, who's not. It's something that, as I said, if the players in question that is 50% this and that, have two things: his birth certificate. On his birth certificate is going to show who's his mom, who's his dad, and get the proof of his mom and his dad. That's it. We're forgetting about soccer. You're good.
Go to the different direction. I tell you the truth. If you do everything honestly, nothing is wrong.
All right. Let's go. I think we were moving to quarterfinal rounds. How are we going to get to quarterfinal rounds? We're going to go back to page 1 of rule and regulation. Anyway, so. That the team caught with the 4 non-Afghan players is expelled, and the other teams are awarded with the points and so on and so on. So okay.
And the teams who are going to quarterfinal, just listen. All right?
Okay. Now the key thing is factors for advancing to the second round. Okay, there are changes here because there are three groups, and the order has changed a little bit. Of course, number 1 is it's in order. Just want to make sure everybody knows. Number of points, goal differential, goals scored, goals received, head-to-head. Before we had head-to-head, the second tiebreaker. So this is how we're going to count it, okay?
Is there a card or something?
What?
Yellow's ring is there?
Oh. I think there is another one. Right, I don't know why this is left out. The number 6 was red card. No, red card, yes. And of course, if we get to that point after that, we can just flip a coin. That's it. That's what you're gonna do. I hope it doesn't come to that. But trust me, the way we had it the year before, because of tiebreaker was head-to-head, that was a disaster. Okay, we're gonna make that change as well. That number 6 is gonna be red card. Okay. And then after the teams remain the same thing as coin toss. We have three groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1 and Group 2 are 5 teams. Group 4 is 4 teams. That makes 14 teams. Group 3 is 4 teams. 3 teams from Group 1 and Group 2 are going to advance to the second round based on those criteria that we mentioned before. And 2 teams from Group 3 is going to advance. And based on that, they are going to be, evaluated on number of points and everything else, and so on and so on. It's going to be Q1 all the way to Q8. and Q1 play Q8 and so on and so on. You see that? And I just want to make sure that we know if Q8 beats Q1 in the quarterfinal, that doesn't mean that they take the place, the ranking of Q1. The ranking is from first round. If you're ranked number 8 and from first round, you're going to be number 8 moving all the way up. It doesn't mean you beat team number 1. You took a space and you're going to play a weaker team in the semifinal. But final is final. So no matter whoever wins semifinal is final. So keep that in mind here. Highest ranked team from plays Rovers. Team ranking for semifinal round is based on first round ranking. It's here. So we don't miss it. That's why I'm playing this team and so on and so on. And the penalty shootouts, if the second round is tied, we go to 10 minutes overtime to 10 minutes, then to no golden goal. Then we go to penalty kicks. All right, so I guess we covered everything. If there is nothing else, we're gonna start with the draw.
Sure.
Right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna, as I said before, we have 3 teams from California divided. Is gonna be into 3 groups as well. Obviously, it's gonna end up obviously in 1 do. And same thing with New Jersey into 3 groups. Same thing for Canada into different groups. And Virginia and Florida are just going to be, you know, whatever's left there, they fall in there. So based on that, we're going to start with group selection first. Okay. So, Wali John, if you can move there so we can just see what, let me do a little bit. Can you put the camera there?
So each group is playing 3 games.
Everybody. Oh, one thing I have to tell you guys, the teams that are in a 5 teams, you know, we're down draw. What we did from group 1, and there's another team from group 2, they're going to be playing 2 games. So those 2 teams are going to be playing each other to make up for their 3rd game. Okay? So that helps out eliminate, you know, how many points you gave them and so on and so on.
So like one team was getting by from one group, another one from another group.
They're going to be playing each other. They're going to, I think in this thing that the way I saw it is E and J, they're going to be playing, even though they're from 2 different groups to make up their games, they play each other. So we don't have that issue.
Just a quick question before you do that.
Yes.
On the schedule that you send, there are no groups. So basically the groups are going to be on alphabetical order. So group 1 is going to be A, B, C, D, E, and then group B.
Group 1 is going to be A, B, C, D, E. Group 2 is going to be F, G, H, I, and I, so on. And group 3 is going to be K, L, M, N.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we start alphabetically. Okay, so رامیجان اگر شما اونا کلتان دیده میتونه نمیره من اینجا میمانم که دوستایم که در زوم هستن ببینن what we're doing. If you have a pen ready or a piece of paper, just make sure you take your notes.
Yeah. One more thing.
Yes.
Game balls.
Yes. We'll give you a game ball.
You're gonna give
everybody like every year.
Okay. So all right, just to make
I
sure.
thought Tarjan brings a new team. He's gonna buy a ball game for everybody, but
no,
I don't know.
We want to bring it. You know, if
it's your decision that the team is decision.
If we have it, if we give it to us, so we don't want to bring it. I want to be organized. You know, all the balls and all the guys just hold on.
No, we gave everybody a ball, and that's
Every year they're gone.
Trust me, we brought 30.
That's what I'm saying.
End of the day, there was nothing.
And takes it after the game. It's much easier that way.
No.
So whenever we get two, get one free.
All right.
we're
All right.
We're two
Okay.
now, so we get us free.
Right. Okay.
YouTube family, you guys can see it, right? The draw?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the way we have done this, you see here it says California. Look at the top section, right? It says New Jersey. It says New York. It says Canada. And then on the inside, Virginia and Florida, because they're only one team. So we put them a box in the middle. Virginia and Florida are here. So for you guys to see it, okay? All right, no. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have somebody come over here. If, for example, we're doing, let's say, New York is well represented here, right? So New York comes, picks up one envelope from here. And you, for example, you're at the heart, right? You come, whatever you pick up from here is your group. Group 1, group 2, group 3, okay? So feel free to.
So we'll start with New York first?
Whoever wants to pick up. Listen, it's your choice, don't say, okay?
Doesn't matter.
So at the heart is picking up, just make sure you show the camera. What did y'all make sure everybody sees it?
Number D.
Group C.
Well, John, show us here on YouTube. We can see it.
And Ali John Gole.
This is Ittihad Group 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Wali,
I mean, the percentage on the shack.
Okay. No. Okay. Everybody sees at the heart group 3, right? Okay.
This is 3, yeah. They say 1, 2, and 2.
This one is 3.
Three.
All right. Just put it back here, Wally. New York, yes. Okay. Right. Yeah. All right. All right. Who wants to pick up from New York second?
Go, Rafi.
Come on, Rafi.
Rafi is representing who?
Brishna A. Just on the, just represent yourself here and then pick from here.
Assalamu alaikum. Brishna A.
Brishna A.
Is he right?
Yes. Brishna A.
Group 2.
Group 2.
Yeah.
Can you please write on this? On the back. Oh.
Okay, I wrote it down, Brishna A, right?
Group 2.
Yeah, group 2 is already there, right? Okay. Who wants to pick up next? New York?
Sure.
Brishna B.
اینجا ببخشید که اگر برای چیز کنین که کلاگی بفهمه.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys see me? Sabir, Brishna B.
Brishna B is picking now. Go ahead.
Where am I picking up from?
From here.
Can we change?
The top one.
Brishna B, Group B, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Group 2? No, 2. Oh, 2, yeah. 2.
Now it's going to be additional.
Yeah, bro.
This is going to be additional cost to the organization. We have to live stream this game now. Hi, John, you're costing us this year already. Okay. Who's picking up next?
So I'm already done with the group A, right?
Number 1.
Hey, Timo John, I've got a question. This is Arash from Afghan Premier.
I'll go official,
Yes, I had a quick question.
Go ahead. باشه که میگه. بفرمایید.
Arash از Afghan Premier سوال دارم. خواستم پرسان کنم in regards to Brishna, I'm very happy to see that they've brought in 2 teams. I think it's great for the community, for the future of football and the youth in the area. Can we take 1 second to identify which team is Brishna A and Brishna B? Just to have clarity as to, I know it's tough to identify because no rosters have been submitted, but I just wanted to clarify, who is Brishna A and who is Brishna B, so that we're sticking to it as these groups are set, right? I just wanted to make sure if we take a few seconds to understand which Brishna is A and which Brishna is B.
Identified by their coaches.
Okay, would you like to come here, please? Okay, they will identify them. Please.
Okay, Orange John, from my understanding, I don't want to speak.
Go ahead. That's why I was
my authority. I think Brishna B is coached by John. Brishna is coached by Abraham John.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum,
Right.
John. I mean, there's
Assalamu
no way
alaikum, brother.
we don't know
You guys cut off.
He said it's under my father and brush.
Can you say that again? You guys cut off.
There's no players that we can clarify. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
So there's no player we can clarify which is Breshna A or B, but Breshna A will be under Abraham Mashriki and Breshna B under Terka Mashriki.
Yeah, thanks for that. I just would like to take a second for us to
clarification.
All right, John.
Yeah.
We know.
I'm sorry, the phone is cutting out.
Wali John, the reception is cutting out in New Jersey.
بابا صدای شما قطع شد صحیح شنیده نمیشد صدای شما
صدایتان از نیوجرسی نمیم
Can you hear us now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. The rosters are not submitted yet. So when the rosters come, whoever they want to put on team 1, team 2, that's the decision.
Here's the reason why I asked. Having clarity as to who is playing on what team gives us an understanding of who we face as well, right? And so it would be at an advantage to Brishna if they could pick, okay, we're going to put our A team roster on Brishna B, depending on who we're aligned with, right? Versus, okay, Brishna A has a stronger group, so we'll put our better roster on or our weaker roster on this side. Does that make sense? So I would hate for one team to have a stronger advantage than the other. I want an equal playing field, hence why I asked that question.
Let me put it this way. John, I did this myself, right? So if I make sure that Brishna A and Brishna B are not in the same group, would anybody think that would be fair?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. However, when you split the groups in that manner, that's fine. I have no issues with that. However, before the groups are assigned, we need to have a clear understanding of which team is Brishna A and which team is Brishna B. Does that make sense?
John, what I'm saying is this, okay? No matter how you slice it, you're questioning this if they're in the same group. There are others that they're questioning that why would you in different groups?
I'm not questioning if they're in the same group. I want to be crystal clear on that. I want my questioning is fine. The group splitting is fine amongst the regional players. That's totally fine with me. My questioning is, before we have the groups assigned, we need to have a clear understanding as to which one is Brishna A and which one is Brishna B, so that one team does have an advantage to switch rosters given the strength of group and how those are aligned.
We've been around for 30 years, brother. We don't do anything like that.
I think that's a valid point that Orashan is bringing, right? If Brishna can clarify, okay, my A is going to be my strong team, my B is going to be my second, that would be sufficient in my opinion.
Teams, though. It's two different teams, two different coaches. That's what they said at the beginning.
I want to, okay, get about that change.
Timurjan.
So Brishna A
Timurjan.
and B are in the same
میگم پرسان کنم سواله.
Come watch the game so you identify which one is A, which one is B.
تیمورجان.
بله بفرمایید.
ما با تایید گپ آرش جان باید از دو تیم یک اونرشیپ داره و از یک جای هستن اینا باید از راسترهای خودن نشان بدن میتونه که راستر دور بکنه در گروپی که میبرن راستر که در تیمی که گروپی که قوی است تیمای درست پرتن و دیگه پلیرهای درست پرتن و در تیمی که فرض مثال راسترشون در گروپ صافتر است تیم پلیرهای دیگه خودن پرتن باید راستر از چون اونرشیپ یک اونرشیپ است ما میخوایم که مسئله راستر از جا باید معلوم باشه از دیگران خود کلیر کلشون معلوم است که از کجا هستن چه قسم هستن و از کجا چه رقم جور میکنن راستر از جا باید معلوم شه پیش از اینکه اینا باید داخل چی شن به خاطر که گروپ تعیین شد باز جا صداپ میکنن پلیرها را ما نمیخوایم که این مسئله چی شود مسئله یکم جنجالی شه میخوایم تنها امی برشنا هر دو تیمش راسترایشان امیال معلوم شود و در گروپی که میرن خاطر که یا صداپ میخوایم که باید صداپ شده
تیمور جان بعض معذرت قاسم هستم از سندیگو AFC به نظر من درا را که شما کردین در دو تیم در یک گروه افتیده so it doesn't make any difference I think
yeah both Brishnas are in the same group it shouldn't make a difference
yeah it doesn't make any difference I think if they're in the same group
No, but what Arashjan is asking that they may be one team stronger than the other one, don't know their rosters, and they're gonna adjust accordingly.
Yeah, but it won't benefit them in the playoffs, right? Then one team will get kicked out if they have.
Yeah, exactly. If they're both in the same group, I think it doesn't make any difference.
No matter how or which way you slice it, it's not going to benefit. It could benefit them in the group stages, both teams. But it won't benefit them in the playoffs. But you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. This was a randomized draw. We all saw it online, and we have to be fair to Brishna, and we have to trust them. The whole point of this tournament is to trust each other. If we're already saying, oh, by Tuesday they're going to be adjusting their lineups, and what was the whole point of 40 minutes talking about each other and this and that? I understand. Yeah, it's going to look a little shady or shaky, whatever. But it is what it is. What did they do wrong, right? It was a randomized draw.
Brother, are you guys two separate teams?
Yes.
That's it. So just tell them that. That's all you have to clarify.
We haven't even seen each other in practice.
Then you just have to explain it there. It's very simple.
All right. Arjan.
Very simple.
Like some of you know me, some of you might not. I've been playing for the last 10 years, playing against, that's Team A, that's going to be under Coach Ibrahim. And Breshna B is going to be under my father. I'm part of Breshna B, I used to be on A, and now I'm part of Breshna B. Everybody else is a bunch of young kids where you've seen here and there sporadically, but you're going to see the difference between the two teams. So Breshna A is the stronger team who's going to be under Coach Ibrahim John, like always. Does that clarify anything?
That is the answer to my question. Thank you.
There you go. Case closed. Move on, please. Thank you, Arajan. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's good. All right, move on, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So the other group that's we want to go to California, so this way we don't think that we're doing all this regional area here now. We forgot about.
So Afghan FC was group one.
Afghan FC group 1. Yeah. Okay. Do not lose this because this is the stuff that
We'll keep it.
No. We don't know. Okay. Which team from Ryan John? Ryan John?
Wali John, who was in group 1? We didn't see the name of the group 1.
New York. Afghan FC from New York.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We're going to California, right? 3 West Coast teams. Okay. Ryan John, Espinitara is represented by
Galan.
Raimi.
بله.
با اجازه شما بکنن؟
خواهش میکنم. یا درست است. الان. تشکر.
California?
Yeah. California just pick one, top, bottom, middle, whatever.
I'm gonna pick the middle.
Espinitara from Sacramento.
شورش بده که پرویز جان
دارم موبایل گرفتم.
نه لایتش میگیرید. نمازی هستی.
نه بخیر نماز شما خواندم. گروپ 2.
Anna. Espinitara from Sacramento, group 2.
تشکر پرویز جان.
Good luck.
Speak group 2. Okay. San Diego or Afghan Premier?
Come on.
Let them choose where they want to play. Right?
You're right. Yeah. They will tell you who to pick. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
آرش جان یا قاسم جان یکیتان who do you want to کامرا نشان بده که کی را میخواین که چیز کنه فکر کنه. انا ولی جان هم از اینجا
ما ماشتم هر کس که شوقت است.
Arash not taken?
No, for Arash I can pick two.
How about Gurash John?
Hasim John, go ahead.
Hasim John.
Hasim John is from San Diego. Hasim John, pick somebody from here.
اکبر جان میتون از ما رو بگیرن.
San Diego.
San Diego.
Group 1. Group 1.
He knows everything.
San Diego, Group 1.
Group 1?
Yes. San Diego, Group 1.
San Diego, Group 1. اینجا میمونیم. یکی دیگه هم.
Okay.
آرش جان.
Tamer John, go ahead. You can pick.
در گل یک چیزی مرا گفتی پکو که گروپ اول دور گرفتن حاجت به اینه که بیخود گروپ سیاسی دیگه دل مرا خوش کرد.
I just clarified your question. That's messed up.
Group 6. Afghan Premier Group 3, right?
Yeah. You know, we're gonna show it here.
Afghan Premier 3.
Afghan Premier Group 3. Afghan Premier Group 3.
مرغ دفتر کو تاثیر گرفتی.
Okay. Now, where we want to go? We want to go to New Jersey or we want to go to Canada?
Canada.
They don't feel like
Virginia.
Do Virginia.
Okay. Whoever wants to volunteer. Should we go New Jersey, Virginia, California, Florida?
It only makes sense to do the teams that are multiple teams from the same region first, in my opinion.
He's right. Okay. Let's do New Jersey because we have multiple teams. Okay. All right. New Jersey. Afghan United.
Yes.
Group 3.
Okay. Who else wants to pick for New Jersey? Alisina. Alisina?
Alisina John?
Which one?
Pamir.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw Coco Zumai. Let Coco Zumai pick.
کاکام باری معلوم نمیشه که سر جوان است که زیر کاکا گفتی یک ذره سرش بد خود.
Oh, sorry.
پامیر.
اینی سه.
از نمیشه یکی رو این طرف بانک پولگی ببینه که
انا شورش میتونم اشمال چیکار
Thank you. I trust you.
Good luck, guys. Speciak number yak.
You're perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coco.
امی نمبر یک امیال فعلا کدام گروپ بود؟ امی کدام تیم بود؟
پامیر
نیست باشه.
Pamir Soccer Club.
Okay. All right. So what else is left from New Jersey?
Ali and just select. Ali Adinsan.
Select education شما میتونم برای ما انتخاب کنیم please.
There's only one team. The group اول بود نه؟
موضوع اول بود سه شما بودن.
نه دو مانده.
جامعه رو خودت
I think we are in group 2.
ثبت نام دیگه. کدام تیم؟
New Jersey Select.
اینا جان خودت انا دوستی ما باید.
Okay, thank you guys.
Two, right? کدام از این جرسی خودت بون این
Okay. All right. We're going. Who else is left here now? Canada. Canada.
Which Canada?
Where's Canada? Canada is here. Canada is represented by Wali Sarwari, right?
Yes.
Which team? Which team?
Mustafa team is Chiefs.
Toronto AFC. One. Group 1. Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring that.
Okay.
You can do that. There's no time for that. You need only just make work.
Okay, that's okay. Just make my course.
To ask where you work.
All right, no problem. All right, the rest is all okay. So Canada, who wants to pick up the other one for Canada?
Ask him though.
Go ahead. Rajan Bafarman. Go ahead.
Toronto Palmier, right? Yeah, رنجان از خودت کی پیک کنن؟
خودتان انجام میدم. خودتان پیک کنین. I said.
Toronto AFC is group 1.
Yeah.
Right? Wali John was.
Yeah, no, Wali John. أنا روينجان
Palmier Toronto, right?
Palmier Toronto.
Toronto Palmier است. تورنمنت تیم تورنتو پامیر است.
Toronto Palmier.
گروپ 3
یکی دیگه مونده. Okay. Everybody make a note. Toronto Palmier is 3, okay?
Yes.
All right? Okay. Now we have left with Virginia.
Come on, guys, let's just finish this, please.
Don't we have 2 teams remaining?
Virginia, yeah. And Florida.
Armon.
This one's
okay. All right.
تیمور جان قند به بزرگواری خود اگه لطف کنی از ما از ویرجینیا اگه نوبتش رسیده خودت میتونی لطف کنی امور بر ما.
سالمن
شما را پیک کرد ویرجینیا.
ویرجینیا فایز جان گفت من میتونم براتون پیک کنم.
جان تیمور جان قند اگر زحمت نمیشه براتون لطف کنین امور بر ما.
مقصد خوش باشی که باز نگویی که مرا.
ما همیشه خوش هستم تیمور قند.
And Virginia Football Club, right? Afghan Football Club, Virginia Afghan Football Club.
Virginia Afghan Football Club, بله.
Virginia Afghan Football Club. گروپ 1.
تشکر، ممنون.
Okay, no, we just want to okay. And the last team is Florida, right? Can we open up Florida?
Yes, go ahead.
Armon Football Club. Group 2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now because this place closes, so let's see what we can do now. We know our groups, right? Okay. Now we choose, we pick which team we are, okay, to see what. Okay. All right. Either one of them. Okay. Now we're going to the next phase, which is Groups. Okay. Group 1. Who's in group 1 here? Atil John, you wanna pick up from group 1? Group 1, Afghan FC from New York is picking, right? Yes. Okay. We're gonna see what letter are they.
Afghan
مش
FC?
كتالين ولا كده شو
C.
Afghan FC, C, right? So Afghan FC, that's what.
What letter were you, sir? C. C.
Okay. Who else is here? Group 1? One. Yeah. Yeah. Group 1.
What is this? Pamir FC? No. Yeah, Pamir FC, New Jersey. A. What is it? A?
A, letter A.
New Jersey, right?
What team was this?
This is Palmier from New Jersey.
A.
A.
Did you guys do San Diego already or no?
No. Hold on. What is John? Amir.
One by one.
Let's see. Okay. All right.
Who else is group 1?
San Diego, Toronto, and Virginia.
Okay. Group 1. Is anybody else here from group 1? Okay.
San Diego.
Ali, Wali John, can you pick up for Toronto?
AFC.
D. Toronto.
D or D?
D, like a dog.
AFC.
Toronto AFC.
What is it? Oh, that's Toronto.
Toronto AFC. Okay, who else is in group 1?
I think it's on.
Virginia.
Virginia
and San Diego.
Yeah.
Virginia, San Diego.
Yeah. That's it.
Toronto G.
D.
Ask Virginia who they want.
Virginia and who's San Diego?
San Diego, right. You want to pick one up?
Yeah, maybe you guys should just open them now to save some time.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna open Virginia now.
Yeah, go ahead and just open.
جان ما اجازه داریم از
تیمور جان لطف کنین تیمور جان خودتان لطف کنین
انا بدر نمیه
درست است
به گروپ که معلوم است یک گروپ اول تیم 20
بخیر درست است ممنون
The other one is E, 100%, right?
Virginia B and
San Diego.
I'm still gonna write it down. They're gonna show.
It's can be only E. قاسم جان ما رواز میکنم به خاطر آخرین لدر دیگه دی ای استک یعنی بازم اینا واز میکنیم انفالوپ اک سعی کنین ای درست است سان دیگو ای Okay. Okay. Group 2. Who's in group 2?
Go.
Armon FC.
Unlucky with this time.
Okay, the two pressures here.
Yeah, go for it.
They want me to do any mini money more. How am I gonna do that with 5?
Okay.
Tell me to stop. Tell me to stop. Tell me to stop.
You pick up for food.
No, man. I did that last time. Look what happened.
Pick up for good.
G, right?
What letter? G.
The whole week I've been saying I want G.
Prashna B is G. Okay.
Was that Brishna A or Brishna B? Oh, for G.
Brishna B, G.
Now Brushna A is picking.
Breshna A is second.
I.
Aye.
Krishna A is I.
Okay. Who else is group B?
California.
Arman FC.
Let's finish the.
Okay.
I'm picking for Spingar. Yeah. Spingar Group H. Group
H.
2, Team H, sorry.
H, right. Okay. Who else is in group 2?
What's this? Sorry, I missed this.
NJ select and Armana left.
H.
H.
NJ select.
Ali John, group 2 Steve?
Yes.
Pick one. Wali pick I got
volleyball pick next.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
F.
F. Thank you. Shakar.
New select.
New Jersey select was
F.
F, right?
Okay. Who else is left in group 2?
Florida.
Florida. Arman.
Ali John, go ahead. I hope it's a J.
And Jack.
What was the letter? J?
Yeah.
J.
All right, that's what we wanted to hear. Thank you.
Okay. San Diego's E. San Diego's E.
San Diego's E,
right?
Yeah. So now it's group 3.
All right, group 3.
Who's in group 3? Afghan Premier.
Arman is from
Afghan United.
Etihad is picking up.
Etihad pick up. Okay.
K.
K.
Yes.
Etihad K.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to leave 3-4 hours before. I come to Jersey every day. Yeah?
This is Florida. Let's double check.
Arman, yes. Arman is from Florida. Okay. Who else is picking up for group 3? Group 3.
Afghan Premier is not.
I'll do Afghan United.
Afghan United?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
M.
Who's that?
Afghan United.
Afghan United, New Jersey.
Afghan United, just M, right?
Yeah. What's group 3?
3.
Okay. Who else is left in group 3?
تيمور جان از طرف افغان پرمیر شما میتونید
Afghan Premier. Okay. Thank you, Arash.
Informate Toronto.
Letter L. L.
Afghan Premier L.
Premier's out. You hear that, Rush? You're out.
Okay. Afghan Premier L.
So the other one is M.
Who's left?
Toronto Pamir. Toronto Pamir.
N is an N.
And Roy John was.
Yeah, it's the last one. Go ahead.
What do you think it is, John?
N.
Hopefully it's N. There we go.
Yeah, see, you won.
Toronto, Toronto, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna read what the group first, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. There is no misunderstanding. And I'm gonna read the way we wrote it down. Ittihad is in group 3, correct? Brishna A is in group 2. Brishna B is in group 2. Afghan FC is in group 1, right?
Yep. That's the order.
Spingar is in group 2. San Diego is in group 1. Afghan Premier is in group 3. Afghan United New Jersey in group 3. Pamir New Jersey in group 1. NJ Select is in group 2. Toronto AFC is in group 1. Toronto Pamir is in group 3. Virginia is in group 1. Armand from Florida is in group 2, correct? Okay, now the next thing is we want to make sure that we have in group 1, right? Afghan FC is letter C. Pamir Soccer Club is letter A.
Pamir, New Jersey, right?
Yeah, but that Pamir, New Jersey, right? At Pamir, New Jersey, they call it. Okay. Pamir, New Jersey is A. Toronto AFC is D. Virginia is B. San Diego is E. Okay. In group 2, Brishna B is G. Brishna A is I. Spingar is H. New Jersey Select is F. Armand from Florida is J. In group 3, Ittihad is K. Afghan United of New Jersey is M. Pamir Toronto is N. Afghan Premier is L. All right? Okay. One thing that we're going to make an amendment to that thing that if teams are caught with more than 3 non-Afghan players, it's going to be expelled from the tournament, and the teams who are playing them are going to be awarded the points. And the team who didn't play them, they cannot argue that, well, I didn't play them and I didn't get anything. So you'll see that in the next couple of days that we're going to make that amendment. Other than that, we stick to this thing.
Also red card.
Red card, yeah, we're going to add the red card too. Yeah,
just make sure they know there's no yellow cards.
Number,
red card and the point.
Right, yes.
Timurjan, just make sure for that amendment, it includes international Afghans too.
Yes, that's it. So international Afghans, non-Afghans are the same in our rule book, basically. Okay? All right, so work on your rosters. You're going to see 2 different forms. One is the game report and one is the actual roster. They all have to have exact same order of names. The first 3 names, if you have 3 non-Afghans or 3 international Afghans, should be the very first 3. And then from there on, all Afghans.
Can I just add one thing? Salam barakalatan barasam.
Yeah. And
به تورنمنت ها ما کلا ما بسیار وقت رو تیر کردیم. Thanks God که حالا میبینیم که تورنمنت ها they become a bit more mature now. جنجالایی که روزای اول بود بسیارش خلاص شده. One comment I want to make that every participant team would need to take the ownership of this tournament also. That's the only way to guarantee our collective success of the tournament. We all own this, as not only the organizers. The organizers can do so much. Every participant team just needs to take a bit of ownership. And if there's any issues that potentially will come up, just say it rather quickly than wait until the end of the tournament. Tournament خوش برای کلتان. I wish I could have been there نشد. Inshallah صالح in
How are you? How is it?
He's in California now. He came from Qatar to California. Now he wants,
he can make
he's playing games with us.
You can make it. Come on.
Yeah. So I'll try.
Tarjan could put you on his team. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to come to Team B, Tarjan.
My Western is not final yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Qatar.
Yeah, be ready. Come on.
خوش دیدیم دیدیم
سلامت باشین. تشکرم چنان. سلامت باشین.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
باش که نام بکنید که بسته میشه. All right, thank you everybody for participating.
Marjan, I wanted to add one comment towards the end, and this is towards the organization, if I may have an opportunity. First of all, I appreciate what you guys do. I know what's involved in all of this. So tons of, kudos to you guys for everything that you guys do. We really appreciate it. One humble request that I had as a participant, for years in your tournament, the request that I have is to limit the amount of announcements and loud music during the game, especially, when games are in an intense moment. Loud music has been playing at times last year, for example, and a lot of announcements are being made.
Okay.
The focus should be on the game. You want your audience to focus on the game, not elsewhere.
Well, point will take in Vice John, but I also want to, while you kept us another 30 seconds, I just want to let you know, the guys, that all the quarterfinal, semifinal, and final games are going to be streamlined. Okay, so we'll send you the link. You can integrate it with our YouTube channel, AASA YouTube. You can watch it both on both channels. Okay.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate it, Marjan, as always.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
تشکر خان.
خداحافظ everyone. خداحافظ.
خداحافظ.
خداحافظ ان شاء الله.
خداحافظ شما.
خداحافظ.
خداحافظ.